Hi, I'm Alessandra Edwards, and today's smart hack is on how to harness flavonoids from foods to boost our immunity. What are flavonoids? Well, these are just natural chemicals that are found mostly in plant foods, and you've probably already eaten them. So today's smart hack is about telling you exactly where they're found and then encouraging you to eat them more often in larger quantities and also varying the sources. The cool thing is that there's a good body of evidence that has found that flavonoids really boost our innate immunity in the respiratory tract, helping us reduce the incidence of these infections and the duration of symptoms by up to 30%, which is fantastic. I recommend eating these foods rather than supplementing directly with flavonoids because, let's face it, it's cheaper, it's more enjoyable, and you're also going to get a lot more benefits by eating the whole food. So flavonoids are found in really high amounts in things like celery, onions, parsley, coriander, oregano, and also dark chocolate because it's found in high amounts in raw cacao, and also in red wine, although I'm pretty sure you're not going to need any more encouragement, especially if you're currently in lockdown, to consume any more red wine. And if you want to get really specific, that there is a specific kind of flavonoid called the flavone, which is called apigenin, which is found in very high amount in bee pollen. And this one has been found to actually stimulate the bitter taste receptors in the respiratory tract, which are really linked to boosting our immunity. And in fact, a very new study that has just recently come out has found that people who have genetic variants in the bitter taste receptors, so they're considered non-tasting, actually have a tenfold increase in contracting COVID-19 infection and hospitalization. So I mean, it's not a high level of evidence to start with, it's just one study, but we know from previous research done in the lab in vitro, so in cells, that flavonoids like particularly apigenin, which is found in bee pollen and also in chamomile, actually tend to stimulate the bitter taste receptors. So I think that's a very easy thing that we can do. The second step is to actually get yourself one of these. Depending what country you're in, you might have a different brand. I love the Fest brand. I don't have any affiliations, but very common in Australia. And you can get a saline solution like this. And so I'm recommending to all my family, in view of this recent research around COVID and bitter taste receptors, to basically just do a daily saline rinse, okay, in the nose, and then adding a couple of drops, 2 to 3 drops of an essential oil, such as oregano, for example, which is high in apigenin as well, and or eucalyptus, which is also very high in flavonoids because of the research looking at the stimulation of bitter taste receptor genes. As I said, obviously, this is not going to be a treatment for COVID-19, is not going to necessarily prevent the infection. We have lots of really cool stuff like vaccine and also other measures that we can follow. Nevertheless, it's a novel and a new, simple and cheap tool that is also going to help keep your nose clean, air passageways nice and open, and also probably going to help with keeping the pesky seasonal hay fever allergies at bay. Happy hacking!